at the Blair Athol estate outside Johannesburg, launching, check this out, yeah, okay, you can't mistake that Alfa Romeo badge or the red. And on the side, could you call it almost the brother? Well, we'll find out a lot more, because I've got Quintus Schoenrad from Alfa Romeo. You'll remember him from a previous video. Quintus.
Hello everyone.
Welcome back again to Motor Matters. And we are now checking out the 2021 model upgrade, I think we can call it, of the Alfa Romeo Stelvio and Giulia.
Yes.
Talk to us. Tell us what goes on over here. Show us the changes on the car largely. What's different? What standout features? And we'll talk engines, because of course they do share engine underpinnings, etc. So we can kind of cover both of them in one go on that. 100%. But let's start here with, let's call it the bigger brother.
Okay. So,
seeing as it's a Stelvio.
So as we call it, the bigger brother then. Mostly a carryover from MY20. The big improvements is basically more towards on the interior of the vehicle, where we move from a normal display to a touchscreen radio and a new center stack from the previous, how can I say, not generation, but the previous model. 20-inch standard alloys.
Look at these 20-inch wheels, and I mean the beautiful alloys. Look at that.
Yeah, no, it's actually with the high-profile tire as well,
yeah,
still gives you that comfortable ride.
And of course those red calipers, eh?
That's awesome.
Could you get anything else? Alpha badge in the center as well, just in case you don't see that there. Now, of course, you've changed the model name slightly, but it doesn't really matter, does it?
No.
So this is the
Super,
the 2-liter version, right?
yes.
Let's talk engine quickly, and of course it's common to both versions.
Okay, so 2-liter turbocharged engine, 206 kilowatts, 400 newton meters of torque,
yeah,
and 0 to 100 in 5.7 seconds.
Wow, okay.
All-wheel drive terrain system, Q4 drive, basically.
So intelligent all-wheel drive,
yes,
does it all itself. Just while we're here, let's just check the back seat quickly. Space in the back seat. You've got USBs for Africa in the back seat. That's also
yes,
a change, isn't it?
Yes.
Add a lot more USBs, so a lot more connectivity, functionality, and family friendly.
Yes, with the 20-40-20 split as well with the armrest.
Right.
And the full leather interior.
And Isofix, just in case we got little ones around as well.
Yes, of course.
Okay, I mean, we've got to have that. But you can see lots of space in the back. It's a D segment SUV, as you guys have put it. I must tell you, on the road, wow. It is something else, both of them. I mean, that engine is just so responsive and everything else. And of course, here comes the Q4 badge, just to tell you it's the intelligent all-wheel drive. Let's just move back this way. You can see, of course, the rear, nice big spoiler over the top over here. Should we have a look at the Giulia quickly now?
And the full panoramic sunroof as well.
Don't forget that. Of course, both models have that.
Yes.
Okay, now we come to the Giulia, which now carries the Veloce name.
Yes, the Veloce.
Okay, which means speed, performance.
Speed, performance, yes.
Okay, now interesting. On this one anyway, the calipers changed to black.
Yeah.
Okay, 19-inch now.
19-inch.
Yeah.
Cannot, obviously, this cannot accommodate the 20-inch.
Right, just because the lower
profile,
ride, lower
yes,
profile,
and
lower
ground
everything.
clearance.
Now, I mean, this is a D-segment sedan. I have to tell you, there's something about me that still likes a sedan, okay?
This is an amazing car.
I love it. This thing, the performance is incredible. Obviously, it's difficult to compare outright performance between a sedan and the SUV. It's not fair, in fact. Am I right?
Yeah.
No, it's not, because they are so different.
Yes.
But yet they're both performance variants, and that's what counts. So you've got, of course, the Giulia sedan over here. Should we jump inside and have a look? Now, what we'll do is the interiors are pretty much the same.
Yes.
So let's just jump into the Giulia, and you point out everything, all the features on the interior to me.
100%. You want to get in the driver's side, or should I?
I'll tell you what, you jump in the driver's side, let me film you there. Behind the wheel of the the 2021 Giulia, let me tell you, this may be the 2-liter turbo with that 206 kilowatts and 400 Newton meters of torque. Wow. Naresh has been driving. I've just taken over the wheel now and getting my first taste of it, and just watch this. Just you hear it kick down, that 8-speed gearbox kicks down quickly, and I'm just trying to catch up to the car in front of me just for the fun of it. But this thing is potent, but it's also smooth and comfortable at the same time, and that's actually what I'm finding quite stand out about it. it's a performance car. It handles, it goes. But I'm also finding, and we're in D, the dynamic driving mode as well on the DNA, as Alfa call it. And yet, let me tell you, it's a smooth, comfortable ride. This is a D segment sedan of note, but a performance one. And wow, I can also tell you the steering is so direct, so sharp. It just turns like absolutely anything.
So Alan, what price are we looking at for this edition?
This one, as it is here, the Super as they call it, let me tell you, it's fully loaded. It's got absolutely every possible spec on it. And the very big one that I really like is the autonomous emergency braking. And you're talking just under R1 million. For a car of this type, of this performance, of this capability, and this luxury, all thrown together, includes a 5-year full maintenance plan as well. Don't leave that out.
So what are the comparables for this price range? 3 Series, 330, Audi?
I would say 335 actually in the BMW.
Yeah.
Audi A4, even touching A5, the top spec models. Obviously the new C-Class when it lands soon. Lexus, the top ISs. So that's where you're looking over here, and in that context and taking into account fully loaded with everything, there's no extras available in this car.
So basically it's come fully spec'd now.
Yeah.
with the competition.
Yeah.
They give you a base price and
Yeah.
then you still got to add on.
That's the difference. So I reckon, and I mean this is just out of my head now, this price of $989, I think it is seriously competitive, allowing for the spec level.
Well, 989, 900
Yeah.
to be precise, and some good colors that
Interesting
Alfa
colours,
has brought out now.
Yeah.
One of them is ochre. I like that. The Alfa red. There's the Silverstone grey
Yeah.
and Misano blue. Just to remember,
and if you just swing the camera to the car
Yeah.
in front of us, there's
Yeah.
that very different green.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it.
No,
but
it's a bit far.
yeah, a bit far ahead. Let me see if I can just get onto his tail a
Yeah.
bit more, just for a couple of seconds. How's that acceleration?
Yeah.
Wow! And now you can see the green quickly, just
Yeah.
as I come up his tail for a second or two. Sorry about that, but we want to. But Naresh, come on! If I'm buying an Alfa, guess what color?
I think it's going to be the Alfa red.
100%.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's it.
Yeah.
I generally hate red cars. Alfa's the exception. Alfa and Ferrari, in my book, should be the only two brands licensed to do a red, what I call a flat red.
So, did you know that Henry Ford said every time I see Alfa Romeo going past, I doff my hat?
He did, and should I doff my hat to the
Yeah.
Alfa right now?
And the final part of this video that we're doing here today, a lovely day, I'll call it Macaliesburg,
Yeah.
to be test driving this wonderful car, is how do you think they're going to perform with sales nationally in South Africa, bearing in mind that Alfa was one of the most driven cars outside of Europe in South Africa.
Yeah. Apparently the biggest number of cars, as they term car park, cars on the road in the world, second to Italy, was South Africa for Alfa at some stage. I'm guessing they're talking in the late 60s, early 70s, but that's a bit of a guess for me. Unless it was in the 80s with the Giulietta. I'm not sure. We should chat to Roger McCleary about that. You know that, because he was actually sales director of Alfa in those years.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think we need a bit of history from the legend himself on that one.
So final and concluding thoughts on this edition that you're driving?
Wow. One word. Naresh, you know what? I'm just a motoring journo. If I had the money, I would be tossing up between this and the Stelvio probably.
I'll tell you what, it's a Stelvio for me because I just like the SUV kind of look, and I've driven a Stelvio before.
Yeah, me too.
The move worldwide is from sedans to SUVs, so SUV for me, definitely the Stelvio.
You know, yes, but I still love a sedan.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of torn here. I'll be honest. I am somewhat torn. You know, Jeremy Clarkson also said you can never call yourself a petrolhead until you've owned an Alfa.
Who's Jeremy Clarkson?
He's the guy that I taught everything to. Used to be on Top Gear, you remember him?
Of course I know who he is. James May and what's the other guy there?
The hamster.
Yeah, the hamster. Yeah.
No, for sure. But no, now I have owned an Alfa in my history. Have you?
No.
So you're not a real petrolhead, my friend.
No. I came close to owning a Ferrari, but the little Matchbox one.
Okay, yeah. No, I owned an Alfa when I was young. Okay, so I've got one up on you there.
Okay.
You better buy yourself one of these now just to catch up with me.
Okay, I'm coming to you for a loan. All right, so you can do a wrap, final wrap.
Yeah, final wrap is absolutely. I'm loving. You know what? The wrap is I'm loving every second of this one.
And you see it's selling well.
Oh, you know, sadly, they're not going to sell massive numbers.
Okay.
They just aren't.
But for the real Alfa aficionados, the wait is over.
Absolutely. You know what? And also, with the Stellantis group now,
Yeah.
and the weight of the Stellantis group behind it,
Yeah.
they won't sell millions, but I can see them moving some of these again.
Yeah.
And the numbers will increase.
Yeah.
So, well done there.
And that's it from us here in the Magaliesberg. Hope you enjoyed it.
Well, now we've just switched over to the Stelvio, and this is a case of same but different. What do I mean? Same engine, same gearbox, same underpinnings, but we're in a C or medium to large SUV now, and we've got all-wheel drive. Those are the two differences. So what does it feel different on the road? Naresh, what do you think? What's the difference on the road itself?
Well, I have to say that driving the sedan I felt much more better, road holding wise. I felt the bumps in the SUV we're driving now. So I'd prefer the sedan, although my first choice would be the Stelvio.
Okay, so you would go with Stelvio ahead of the Giulia sedan.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to differ from you. How's that?
Okay, tell us why.
All right, firstly, I happen to like sedans. I really do. Secondly, in this case, and now I'm talking if I was buying a vehicle for myself,
Yeah.
this is a bit too big for my purposes at this stage of my life.
It is a bit bigger.
Yeah.
So what consumption petrol-wise are we doing, saying that it is big?
Okay. Right now, no, it's too early. I've only done 2 kilometers, so it's very early.
Yeah.
Let's take the Giulia. I know we're mixing the two.
Yeah.
When you drove and you pushed a little bit and you pushed the performance and you tested it properly, you were showing 12.4 liters per 100.
Yeah. You know, basically start from takeoff was I wanted to see what thrust the vehicle had.
100%.
And obviously with the thrust comes a little fepetrol burn.
Yeah.
So that's why.
But then I did the pure cruise thing with a few bursts, and I showed 8.9.
8.9 is not bad for what's it? How many kilowatts and newton meters we're talking about?
206 kilowatts, 400 newton meters, 8.9. I reckon I was very impressed by that, and the Alfa guys seemed quite impressed by that figure when I mentioned it to them.
So how is this car for a weekend or a weekday, to travel to work, and then also over the weekend to load up your adventure gear, whether it's cycling, canoeing, golf items, etc., to put the seats down? Is there sufficient room?
In the Stelvio, absolutely. Yeah, no. If you're into the adventure lifestyle, if you want this as a family traveling vehicle for weekends,
and Monday to Friday too, to go to work.
Yeah, I can handle it. The commute. I mean, remember we're in dynamic mode again here, so you can click it down 2 steps to normal or to the eco kind of setting. No, it'll handle it very well. It'll always tell you it would like to be pushed a little bit more than that.
I'd like to think that the back seats, the front is very spacious, the back seats as well.
Yeah.
Easily can sit 5 people, so it's 3 people, 3 big size. So, and you can also put the back seats down for more luggage space right at the back.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really
spacious.
Look, the Stelvio we're in now is the more versatile in that sense.
Yeah.
And it's got the raised ride height that so many people love these days.
Right.
So take that into account. It's still got all the spec in the world. It's still got the emergency braking, the autonomous emergency braking, the active cruise control. It's got all the spec again because they've done it with both models, spec to the hilt, as no option.
Now, Alan, the price of this vehicle,
Yeah.
the SUV, so to speak,
Right.
what are we talking?
1.1 million at the moment.
And that comparable to other competitors in the marketplace?
Definitely. It compares now, we're talking Audi Q5, we're talking BMW X3, we're talking Lexus NX.
Yeah.
Have I left anyone else?
So for 1.1
Yeah.
million, that's
Yeah.
what we're saying as a complete sort of
Right.
SUV for the weekend.
Oh, of course, Mercedes GLC.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the one I left
Yeah,
out, sorry. Spec to this level, definitely very, very competitive.
And we spoke about the colors in
Yeah.
the Giulia.
Yeah.
So what colors do this car, or just not car, but the SUV comes in?
It comes in the same range of colors as the Giulia. So there are those very interesting, there's that green, there's the obviously Alfa red as we're in right now.
Yeah.
And there's also that goldish color, what was it called?
Ochre.
Ochre. I mean, that looked superb.
Ochre, they got
Yeah.
blue, the white
Yeah.
looks
Yeah, the
absolutely
white, wow.
fantastic. I'll tell you one thing about
Yeah.
the look of the vehicle.
Yeah.
From outside, aesthetically, it looks wonderful.
Yeah.
And then you're talking about 19-inch, and you're talking about wonderful mags. The design of the mags is absolutely wonderful.
They're very good looking mags, aren't they? That's for sure. So it's got it all. I mean, really it has. And you know what it's got that appeals to me?
Yeah.
I don't ever want to be one of the herd. I always like the different
Okay.
and being the guy who is that little bit different. So that would make me look at this one very carefully.
And you gonna do next what with the Alfa Romeo Rangers?
Sorry,
Buy one? You're gonna buy one?
am I going to buy one?
Yeah.
If I can find a sponsor, I'll take one tomorrow. How does that sound?
Yeah.
Apparently, I was not the first one to ask if I could have a Giulia as a long-term test. I thought maybe I was ahead of the queue, but
Yo.
it didn't work.
Okay.
But everybody's been raving about the cars at the lunch break. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I think it's the Alfa brand and what they've produced in these vehicles.
Oh, yeah. Look, there's always been a magic to Alfa, and they discussed it in the thing, the heritage, the origins, everything else.
Yeah.
You will never lose that.
Right.
Yeah, it is Italian. It is an Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's always going to be an Alfa Romeo. You know, it's going to be.
Did anybody tell you your Italian sucks?
Ah, well, okay, I tried.
Okay.
The rest, thanks for driving with me today, pal.
No problem at all.
All right. Now we've jumped in the car, Quintus, so let's have a look. I mean, it's plush. This is a luxury car. It's not just a standard. You've got this very amazing steering wheel over here, and I love the stop-start button on the steering wheel. And I've got to show you before we do anything. These are not flappy pedals. These are real pedals, and they're attached to the steering column,
Yes.
not the steering wheel,
Yes.
like so many. And they work. Fire her up for me, come on.
Oh, sorry. Foot on the brake.
Yeah. And just wait a second. I'm going to play a bit, may I?
Yeah.
Now, just put your foot on. There we go. I'm sure you can hear that. Mean, isn't it? Okay, Quintus, take us through a lot of the changes first, the
Okay.
new features.
So first of all,
Yeah.
it's basically the new center stack.
Okay.
Where if incorporated the Italian flag,
I love that touch.
where there's actually a new keyhole for your key,
Okay.
and obviously the whole new infotainment system that it's
Right.
now
Yeah.
touch and
Okay.
not display like it was in the previous version.
Right.
You still have the rotary pad.
Okay, just a second. Let's just find the rotary pad for you. That's that center one over here.
Yes,
Okay, now that's an important one there. I'm jumping slightly.
no problem.
The DNA.
The DNA switch,
Okay, dynamic, normal, and what does the A really stand for?
advanced efficiency.
Aha, or eco in many people's talk. Am I right?
Yes.
You probably don't like the word eco in Alfa, so
Well,
probably
because it's probably Alfa Romeos, they
Yeah.
have to come up with their own naming convention, and that's
Yeah,
what they
okay.
decided to use.
And just while we're here, inductive charging pad down there,
yes,
which is neat. but you do have, of course, the USB up front over there.
Yes.
So you've got all of the
Dual zone
features
climate,
you would expect. Yeah.
Dual zone climate control. Again, leather steering wheel
Right.
with the start button.
Yeah.
The cluster display as well. The 7-inch TFT display. 8.8
And look at
infotainment
that.
system.
Yeah. Look at that, eh? And then we haven't mentioned, of course, the 8-speed automatic transmission.
Yes, the ZF gearbox.
ZF, I mean, smooth, comfortable, efficient, unless you want to push it hard. So it's what you want it to be.
Yes.
When you want it to be. You've got the beautiful flow to the dash over here. Of course,
Soft touch as
soft touch. Somebody was mocking journos for pressing dashboards the other day and saying, who ever presses on a dashboard? Well, you want to know what it is. And you've got this almost carbon fiber type effect over here.
This is the aluminium inserts.
Aluminium inserts. I mean, it really looks so good. And of course, stitching, leather on the door handles with the stitching. As I said, this is a luxury car.
With the sport leather seats as well.
Yeah.
And then what's also very unique to the Veloce is the black headliner, which is
Okay,
not very common on
No.
sedans.
No, you wouldn't get that on many. And of course, you've got the panoramic roof as well on this.
Yes.
Now, what makes both these models very, very interesting is the fact that you've decided, Alfa South Africa, to bring them in fully spec'd. No options as such. And what you see is what you get.
Yes, what you
And the
see is
spec
what
levels.
you get at the spec level. I think it was the correct step in the automotive industry to actually only give you the option of color, where this car is already fully spec'd. And compared with all its safety features and technology that's in the vehicle as well, it's actually...
Let's not forget the autonomous emergency braking
Yes,
standard.
the forward collision warning,
Yeah.
the cross path detection, the lane sense detect, the IBS integrated braking system,
All those standard.
active cruise control with stop.
Yeah. So those are all the things that really make a difference, because
Even the panoramic sunroof is standard on the
correct,
vehicle.
yeah, so many. I don't like comparing, but opposition, so many of these items would be extras.
Yes.
So let's just wrap it up now.
Okay.
We've got the 2-litre engine, 206 kilowatts, 400 newton meters on both. You've got the all-wheel drive on the Stelvio. You've just got rear-wheel drive on this one,
Just rear-wheel drive, and
but it's
both,
planted.
yes, and
Yeah.
both vehicles with the carbon fiber drive shaft.
Okay, so you've got all of that common. The spec, the interior spec we've just spoken about, common to both.
Common to both.
Yeah.
Yes, it's just SUV and sedan.
Correct. Prices.
Prices. The Veloce is 989,900,
Right.
and the Super Stelvio all-wheel drive is 1,159,900.
Right. So, keeping in mind, and I'm repeating, fully spec'd.
Fully spec'd.
No options.
No options.
Okay.
Only options is color of
Yeah.
vehicle.
And there's some interesting colors as well, aren't there?
Yes.
But as you saw, we had to have one red one. I'll show you through the window. Yeah, of course. Alpha red. Yes. Give me one. Red, please.
Red, please.
Okay, that's what I asked earlier. I asked for a red one to be given to me, and apparently I was told I'm quite far back in the queue. I didn't appreciate that.
Sorry about that.
You do also get a 5-year full maintenance plan.
5-year full maintenance plan and 5-year 100,000 kilometer warranty.
Fantastic. Quintus, good seeing you again.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. And hey, I like it. Can I say that much? I hope I'm allowed to say it, but I do. And yet again from behind the camera, I'm Eleanor for Motor Matters, and you'll see me next time.